Hello, this is the ATV team. We're developing ATV 3 Offroad Fury. It's a first party title for Sony. It's been in full production for about 8 months. And we're going to have a look at what we're doing.
Right there, I'm Paul Ayler, I'm the lead artist on ATV Fury 3 for Sony. We're just going to take a quick walk around the art team now and have a look at the new stuff people are working on. So if you want to follow me, just go and have a look. This is Ben Devereaux, he's a new artist of the team. He's specialising in particle effects e-pages. We've got Paul Briley over here, I think you met last time. He's one of our environment landmark object texture artists. We've got Jez White, another one of our texture artists. Jez has recently been working on freestyle urban construction sites around. Michael Haller is our colour map artist, just continuing colour maps for most of the environments. Currently working on Environment 2, which is the forest fire. Paul Shewan here. Paul's been working on Environment 6 landmark objects, which is the swamplands. I've got Graham McCormick here, he's a new artist of the team. Graham started with us as a texture artist and currently working on freestyle ramp objects. Last but not least, we've got Joe Palmer. He's working on the Bantam Foliage Library.
Bantam models are very fast to render, but they have a few technical restrictions you have to comply by to get them to work. The restrictions are namely 1:8 by 1:8 texture and no more than 25 quads or 100 texture verts. If you can use quads, it works out a bit more efficient because it can share the texture vertices between them. Textures have to be 1-bit alphas, and you can't use any second pass texturing on the models. The one Bantam models are typically something like grass or maybe a shrub or small foliage, something quite simple. Two Bantam models are found generally a right number for trees and those sorts of things, and you can get a bit of foliage into those. And the 3 Bantam models is our sequoia trees, because they're exceptionally large and they need a little bit of detail around the base.
Following on from Joe Palmer then, he's been talking about the Bantam foliage. This is actually Environment 2 with the Bantam foliage placed in it. So you can see it's fairly highly populated with tree models now. And the really nice thing about Bantams is that they will alpha fade in the distance. So if you look at the tree line there, you can see everything sort of fading in nice and subtly. Okay, what I want to show here is the new effect we've just had come online, which is the bloom effect. Basically this track is the freestyle urban construction site, which I'm going to use as a test bed just to illustrate this new bloom effect. As with most of these effects, we can control this real time via our nipple tweak interface. So I'm just going to turn on the bloom effects now. And basically in nipple what we have available to us is various different settings. We've got a bloom amount control, so we can change the amount we want to bloom the screen. We've got the blur level control, which is how soft the bloom's going to be. We've got a colour scale, so it'll kind of pick up on the colours on the screen. And there's a threshold, colour threshold, so we sort of clamp that down in places where we need to. The nice thing about this effect is that it kind of gives us it's kind of an effect of full screen anti-aliasing. Kind of softens the pixels on screen. What we're looking at here is obviously much too extreme than what we'll ever use in game, but it just kind of illustrates what you can achieve with it. At some point as well, we're also looking at to have specular lighting effects on the building windows, combined with a bloom effect. We should get some really nice sort of lighting effects. You can see here the sky now is really sort of over-bloomed, but it just kind of illustrates the kind of the thing we can get out of this.
Okay, now we're going to have a look at what the design department are doing, so follow me. This is Woody. He's working on M6, which is the swamp environment.
The theme of the level is a swampland incorporating a military zone. The main aim of the level is to combine a mix of rhythm sections with interaction of themed models, whilst trying to maintain a swampland feel to the environment. The military zone also has a tank test area which will double up as the freestyle area, and it's also got hangars for the enduro routes, and with various traffic splines and flight splines with tanks and Chinooks and various other traffic. The beginning of the national track on Environment 6 shows some of the interaction with the models that we're hoping to display. At the beginning here there's a restaurant section that we drive past. Then we move on to some jetties that go over the swamp. We hope to have several fan boats travelling around on splines around the swamp.
Trev over here is working on Environment 4 Pro Enduro route.
Up here, this is the main quarry with the national track running around it and the cement buildings, and here's the mini track running around here. Then over here, there's a train track running around part of the environment, which will have a moving train on it. And down here is the docks area with 2 tankers and a lot of warehouse buildings. And what I've been doing recently is trying to set up a lot of jumps between the buildings and some container trucks and jumps between the boats here. Right, this is down in the dock section where it's going to be part of the target mode, and you're going to be able to drive over some of the warehouse buildings and also through some of the container crates. So there's going to be a number of jumps like this, and hopefully over this one, and then onto this one, and then either off this end or onto this boat over there that we can see over there. Right, this is the jump section between 2 big tanker boats. You jump from the warehouse onto one of the tanker boats, then you drive round the tanker on its deck, and maybe some more jumps on here. And this is the target mode, collecting some of the green or red targets. Then there's an extreme jump onto the other boat, collect some more targets, and off this boat and back into the docks.
This is Mike, he's working on National 8. Okay, and Nick's working on National 7. Ian's working on Environment 2, the Sequoia Forest. This is going to form the basis of our E3 demo.
Like the other environments, it's home to several tracks. It's home to a national track, 2 enduros, a short track and a freestyle environment. It's split up into 3 areas. The first one over here is the thick Sequoia Forest. This is where the short track takes place around this area here. There's ranger reception areas this way, and a small little caravan area as well, full of interactive objects and jump setups through buildings and over these logs, etc. The middle section is high up on this rock ridge. This is home to the national track. It takes place around here. And the third zone is the main feature zone for this environment, and this will be the forest fire. This here has got a disaster area where we plan to have fallen trees, rescue helicopters, fire trucks you can see there, ambulances. We've got these fire towers that you can just about see there. These are going to be falling down onto the track, and this all takes place around the freestyle area.
Ian number 2 over here is working on Freestyle 3.
We have a small terrain area surrounded by an urban city surround. The idea being this combination of a city park with greenery and a concrete jungle. Okay, this is what it looks like once you're driving around inside. You start off at the top of the hill in the corner of the park, and there's a few jumps you can do here. These half pipes allow you to come back around onto the track, backwards and forwards quickly. And in the centre of the park we have a water feature, a large pond with an island in the middle. Again, you can jump over this as well. This would be good for perhaps King of the Hill. Of course, you can come out of the park, and there's a tunnel section which you can go down and into all the way around, and then back into the main area again. what's different about this freestyle track compared to the other freestyles and perhaps previous Fury 2 tracks is that a quarter of the drivable area is on terrain here, and the rest is going to be on the surround.
Hey, I'm Andrew, I'm the lead programmer at ATV. This is the code area behind me. At the moment we're kind of getting ready for alpha and fitting in a lot of the extreme effects for the final game. I'll take you around the team. This is Alan, our Australian. He's looking after the render side of the game, all the terrain effects and such things.
I'm going to show you the splatting technology that we've got running on the terrain. Splatting is just a variation on normal terrain texturing, where you have a normal base pass and a single detail pass that you use to modulate and to add, I guess, detail for the terrain. Well, here we have actually two different detail passes that we can modulate between. Because it's PS2 and there's no such thing as pixel shaded technology, the vertex blending information is stored on a per vertex and it morphs away as you move away from the terrain. And you'll find that as you play the game, you shouldn't be able to see it happening. So drive around a bit, and it looks seamless.
Stu, who's sitting over here in the corner and not wearing his hat, is our animation coder who looks after the animation side. He's been putting in Ragdoll. Jeremy Moore's our online programmer who's looking after the online side of the game. We're both online, LAN, split screen online. Doug's looking after the minigame side of of ATV. Previous games they've had mini-games but not online. We're supporting more mini-games and also playing them online as well. Tom's looking after the AI stuff, camera systems and things like that.
Okay, so this is a replay camera I've been working on for the game, which is based on an idea which came from the Hot Wheels team. So normally, in order to get sort of spline cameras into the game, your designers would have to export some splines from the level exporter, and the game would have to read them in so the camera could move along them. But our AI system, all the track information is included in the track in the AI, and it also has functionality for putting points on the track and moving them up and down the track. So all we need to do is to use that to move a point up and down the track and stick a camera on it, and that gives us exactly the same as we'd have with a spline, but with the bonus of no extra designer work and also no extra memory needed to store it. So as you can see here, I've got this interspersed with cameras that are stuck onto the bike. So here's one that's stuck on the bike, and then there we go. So this is one of the new cameras. It starts off a bit ahead of the bike, moves at a speed slightly slower than it, so you get a nice effect of the bike going past with some extra zooming effects in as well.
And finally we have Gav. Gav's mainly looking after the front end, all the in-game logic.
This is Fender, our front-end editor, and we've started using this pretty much because ATV's got a huge front-end compared to the ones we've done before, and before we've had no real tool to sort of help us out doing this sort of thing. You've got this proper like visual development of the whole thing. That's our garage so far. Most of this isn't actually in the game yet, but will be eventually. Of course, you can move items around and edit the various properties they have. You can just muck around with the alpha, bring it down to nothing. It's been really handy compared to the ways we've done it before. You can actually see what's going on rather than doing the guesswork in code like we have had to do up to now, really.
Well, that's about it, so thanks for watching.